Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how the firewall system works and how to create firewall rules for your virtual machines in the Cloud-Bricks platform. As you can see in the left menu, the firewall system is composed by several pages. Let's take a look at the services table. In this table, you may configure the different network services that can be filtered by the firewall. It is where you let the system know that HTTP is actually a TCP service running on destination port 80 and that ping is the name of an ICMP service which includes types 80 and 00. Several standard TCP and UDP services are already created, so normally you don't have to alter this table. Now let's see the host and nets table. Here, you may configure the IP addresses of the computers or networks you want to use to allow or deny access in your firewall rules. For example, if I want to authorize an email server to receive connections from hotmail.com, I can create an object called Hotmail with all the network IP addresses associated with that service. In other videos, I will explain with more detail both the services and the host and nets tables, but now let's see how can I use them to create firewall rules for a virtual machine. Here you can see the list of virtual machines in my cloud. Let's work with this one called T1. This is the IP address of this particular virtual server. I'm going to copy the IP address and try to ping it. This server seems to be down because it's not responding to ping request. However, I can connect to it by using SSH. So, why SSH works but ping doesn't? The answer is because of firewall rules. In the virtual machine configuration screen, this icon is used to access the firewall rules system. Here we have inbound rules and outbound rules. As you may expect, inbound rules control access from the internet to my virtual machine, and the outbound rules control the connections my virtual machine can or cannot perform to other hosts in the internet. If you take a closer look to my inbound rules, you will see that SSH access is allowed, but ping is not in the list. So let's authorize ping. When we create a new rule, we need to specify the direction. That means if we want an inbound rule or an outbound rule. We have to specify which host or network is going to be affected by this rule. Do you remember the host and nets table I just showed some moments ago? Well, the objects you configure there are the ones present in this list. For this example, I know that my computer IP address is in the WebLink network, so I will use this object to create a rule authorizing ping. Now let's take a look at the service list. Again, this list of services is populated based on the firewall services table that I showed at the beginning of this presentation. So given that we're using IPv6 for your virtual machine, I will select the ping IPv6 service. The final setting is the policy. Here we need to decide if we want to allow or deny access to the selected service. In this example, I will allow ping access, so let's choose accept. Then I just press add and my new rule appears in the list. Now I need to click apply to activate my new rule set. Now let's test our ping again. As you can see, now ping is working, and also SSH. Now I'm logged in the T1 virtual server, so we can test also outbound rules. As you can see, my virtual machine is authorized to access any service in the internet. For example, I can ping Google. But what would happen if I remove the outbound rule? Let's try. As you can see, I cannot ping Google anymore. In fact, all outside communications are forbidden in this moment. That is because the default firewall policy is to deny access. If you want to authorize a certain service, you must create a rule with the accept policy. Well, as you can see, the firewall system is very powerful and easy to configure. If you want to know more, please visit our manuals available at www.cloud-bricks.net/docs. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.